Hi, welcome to Yum Paleo. Today what we're going to do is a beef and bacon sliders dish. So, ingredients wise, what I've got here is I've got 1 pound of premium beef mince, which works out to be about 500 grams if you're working in grams. I've got half a pound of bacon, which is about 350 grams. I've got here, what I've cut up is a quarter of a pumpkin, and I didn't use quite the whole lot, so that's what I have used and that's what's left. Some salad greens, some cherry tomatoes, and we've got some rosemary here and some black pepper, which we're going to add into this. Also some garlic and a carrot to go into our salad. So, to start off with, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some garlic into our beef mince. Now this is 2 cloves that I've chopped up. Brilliant. And we're also going to put into there, we're also going to pop into there 1 tablespoon of rosemary. So, good. Right, and now you're going to just give this a bit of a stir up. Now I'm going to do it with my hands, just so it all mixes in together. Okay, so now that that's all mixed up, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab our pumpkin, which I've just diced, put a wee bit of water in the bottom of that, and we're going to set it off into the microwave. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this for 3 minutes, and then we're going to check it and come back to it. So generally it takes about 4 to 5 minutes in the microwave, but we'll do it for 3, then we'll check to see how it's going. Right, while I get started on the ration. Bacon, and what we're going to do here is we're going to cross them out across our board like this. When you're rolling these up, make sure your hands are wet. It just makes it a bit easier and they don't actually stick to you as much. Now you want them to be a good palm size, not too little, not too big. Quite flat. Okay, so once you've got your cross happening and your patty in the middle of it, what we're going to do is we're going to cross over the bacon like this. So that one's across there, and across this one. Over to there, and then what we're going to do, just grab a toothpick or anything like that and place that through the middle. So basically that there is what your little parcels will look like. That beeping is telling me that the pumpkin's ready, so we'll have a wee look at this. Good, so what you want to do is set it for another 3 minutes and let that go. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a few more parcels. I will see you back in about 3 minutes time when the pumpkin is ready to come out. Right, okay, now that I've made up all the little wraps here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to the pan here. I'm going to drizzle a small amount of olive oil into that pan. Good, so when we're cooking these sliders, what we want to do is we want to pop them in, leave them for about 2 to 3 minutes on one side, then we're going to turn them over so they cook on the other side. Right, so that's warming up. I'm going to place them in. Be very careful as the pan heats up, the bacon will start to spit. Just be aware of that when you're popping them in. Brilliant. Right. All right, so we're just going to check our pumpkin. So pull that out. Now, what we want to do is check to see if it's soft. So if you can do that and the knife comes out, it's soft now. I'm going to actually put these in for another couple of minutes. Give them a bit of a toss around, and then 2 more minutes and they'll be done. And then we're going to pull them out and let them cool because they're going into our salad. Brilliant. Right, so coming back to our sliders. Now be careful that they don't all come apart. They shouldn't. You've put your toothpick in there and they're holding quite nicely. So I'll give them a few more minutes before we turn them. Perfect. Right, so while we're waiting, what I'm going to do is chop up some cherry tomatoes to go into our salad, and even grate in some carrot. So cherry tomatoes are here. So what we're going to do is just halve them. Brilliant, just like that. Right, and once you've halved a few, we're going to toss them into our salad mix. I'm going to do a few more. Perfect. And also I'm going to grate in some carrot. I'm just going to chop the end off it and going to grate into there. Good, so I'm actually going to grate about half this carrot in. I'd say that's about half. Right, and I'm going to give it a wee toss just to mix everything up. Right, so we'll pop that there, so that's all ready. Right, pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drain the water out of that. Right. Good, and I'm going to let that sit just to cool down before we add that into our salad. Right, heading back to our beef sliders. I think it's about time we flip them over. So very carefully, toss them over and just push them down just so the sticks don't stick out too much. Good. As you can see, they're starting to brown up on the underside. And that's what we want. Perfect. Give them a wee pat down. Not too hard because you don't want that mince to break. Good. Put the lid back on and let them cook for about another 4 to 5 minutes on that side. So I'll see you back here shortly when we're going to serve the dish and finish up in about 4 minutes time. Okay, right, now that that pumpkin's been cooling, what we're going to do is we're going to pop it into the salad mix. Perfect, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to toss it in with the mix slightly. Alright, so now that that pumpkin's all mixed in, your salad is ready. What I'm going to do now is, now that our sliders are also ready, and pop that up there, grab a few paper towels, because having bacon in there does produce quite a little bit of fat. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to unplug that and turn that off at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to carry them over here. I'll bring a couple. Perfect. Right, so I'm going to pop them there. I'm going to get a couple more and just... Now do remember that there are toothpicks in there, but we just want to drain out some of that fat. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull these toothpicks out just so you don't eat them by mistake. Good. And that takes up some of the fat. Right. Oh. Perfect. And we'll put some salad on there. So there you have beef and bacon sliders with a mixed green salad. See you next time for another great recipe.